Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to your 2020 astrology. It's extraordinary, it's full on, it's intense, it's wild, isn't it? Yes, it is. We're all going to need a few of them kiki licks to survive this year. But seriously, it has a whole host of potential. We all have drive. We all have vim and vigor to make things happen. It's very, very energetic and full on. For instance, we have Jupiter and Pluto joining forces. I mean, that is a lot to get our head around, you know. There's optimism in transformation. Of course, at the beginning of the year, we had that Saturn and Pluto conjunction. There is a lot of intensity. How are you going to use that intensity? How can you use your drive and your force of will to help transform your life with love and abundance? And P.S., I'm going to do it slightly differently for the yearly. I really want you to feel the energy and to just relax into the magic of what's coming up. So I'm going to do this. This video is going to be Kathy's amazing nature waves, just to fully be able to meditate and focus. And hopefully you might watch it a couple of times as the year goes on to see what's coming up for you. It really is an extraordinary year. Here's your yearly astrology. Virgo, you magnificent creature. Your quick wit is needed this year as there's a lot going on. It's going to be fascinating, interesting, and life transforming. That's because mainly we have, well, there's a lot going on, but one of the main things at the beginning of this year is that Saturn and Pluto join forces in Capricorn in a way they haven't done for 500 years. On top of that, when Jupiter is thrown into the mix, I think it was like 800 years since those three have all been in Capricorn. So that's 1200 and something. So there's a lot going on. Go and Google those details. I know you like details, but trust me, it's unusual and it has a big impact on you. What's interesting for you is that Saturn and Pluto are joining forces in your fifth house of relationships, passion, children, pleasure, creativity, and romance. Do whatever you do, go and look at how it's impacting your rising sign. If you don't know your rising sign, nip over to micheleknight.com or horoscope.co.uk for your free chart. Just as long as you know your time, place, and date of birth, you're going to get very specific information. And on top of that, there's a unique to you yearly transits, and not only that, on top of that, we've got the interpretation for that. So go and check that out and you will be amazed by what's coming up for you. But Saturn and Pluto here are a big deal because, you know, you're someone, when you make a commitment, you 100% go for it. And you're like, yeah, you know, I know what I want, particularly when it comes to love, particularly when it comes to my creativity. And there's going to be a big shift, a change. Well, I don't know if it's out of the blue, actually, possibly not out of the blue, but you are now ready to make that change. And actually, even if you're not ready, Saturn and Pluto are going to give you a big old kick up the bum. So then Saturn and Pluto do not take any prisoners. They like it the way that it is, and they like you to be responsible, and the change is a permanent change. There's no going backwards from this decision. It is a fresh and clean start. And for you, you are discovering new ways to love, new ways to get pleasure, and new ways to be in the world, expressing your creativity, expressing all that you are. And also, you're committing to your own happiness. Good. I think it's excellent news that you're committing to your own happiness. And frankly, there's lots of surprises, possibly new love, possibly a new commitment, but certainly a brand new way of being happy and exploring the world. Because Mercury, your ruler, joins the party also on the same day as that, on the 12th of Jan, you are blessed in a way. And Jupiter is there. And of course, Jupiter is the planet of good fortune. So I know there's a lot of doom and gloom that people, astrologers, are going on about. You know, Jupiter's there. Let's look at it a different way. Jupiter brings a gift. Jupiter brings expansion. So enter into this era, and it is the next decade, feeling positive about the fact that you will experience more happiness and you will flow with a creativity that you've never even explored before. It's amazing and it's intense. And on top of that, I mean, January is a really fascinating month for you. It may be hard, there may be changes, there may be a revolution going on in your life. But Venus, the planet of love, is on the 14th going into your relationship zone, your harmony zone. You're determined to have harmony, and there should be a newfound balance in your relationships. On the 16th, Mercury does go into nitpicking 6th house, which may mean you'll be fussing over the details. You might even find yourself being self-critical or critical of others. Don't go down that road. Use it to commit to your health and well-being and to pushing ahead in a clear way so that you can make these radical changes that should be occurring right from the get-go in January. If it doesn't literally happen, it's already happened in your mind and your soul. So you're 100% there for that experience, and nothing can change it. Well, I mean, I don't like to say nothing can change it, but actually in this instance, I think it's going to be pretty impossible to change back to who you were. You're going through a portal into a new energetic dimension. With Mercury in Pisces on the 3rd of February in your sign, UK time, you're charming and you're able to find balance and you want harmony. So let's say, for instance, you're going through radical changes or you're shifting relationships and patterns. You're able to compromise and have empathy and compassion for whoever else is involved in that. All right, Mercury does go retrograde on the 17th, and it may well be in retro shadow, so there could be some backwards and forwards, some confusion, some doubts, but you know what, retrogrades don't last forever. It's not the natural way. Well, I suppose it's natural because they always do it, but the natural flow is forward. With the sun in your relationship zone on the 19th, and then a new moon in your relationship zone on the 23rd. Looks like there are some shifts, powerful, magnetic, intense shifts when it comes to your partnerships, not just love relationships, but your partnerships and all of your relationships. So you're like, wow, this is a new way of being. You are reborn into a different way of being and experiencing a different level of intimacy, love, and peace. You're much more adventurous in March, actually, when Venus moves into your adventure zone around the 5th UK time and hooks up with Uranus. Something unexpected could happen. You might go on a journey, you might go on an adventure, you might find a lover from a different place or different geographical place in the world, or just a very different background. And it kind of enlightens you and wakes you up. The full supermoon also in March gives you a really intense psychic perception of what to do for this next phase, and you're feeling it. Feel the power rising up within you. Change is happening. Embrace the change. Don't fight the change. Embrace it to take your life forward. Mercury direct is still in your relationship zone from the 16th. It may take a week or two till the 30th actually for it to come out of retro shadow, but then you're very clear in what you want to express and what you want to say and what you want to achieve and how to find the balance. You dive in deep in April when Mercury goes into Aries and your 8th house of power, powerlessness and intensity. You may be talking about issues to do with life, death, rebirth and power. You may meet someone and very, very powerful or influential, and I'm not just talking in a patriarchal way, but that's important to you, that you see as powerful. And there's a really intense past life connection that could heal something in you as Mercury joins forces with Chiron. The North Node is entering your career zone. There's some stuff to clear out and deal with there, but there could be some positive karma coming your way connected to your career. So May should be a very interesting month for you career-wise, and your passion is still stirred. Now Mercury and retrograde Venus join forces, but they're squaring Neptune. There may be a lack of clarity to do with your personal, intimate relationships and your career around the 22nd. But you're working on something. You're dealing with something towards the end of May, which is going to shift things for you career-wise. So don't ignore it. Don't bury it under the carpet. Allow yourself to see things as they are. Mercury goes retrograde again on the 18th of June. And then there's a new moon with an annual solar eclipse. And there could be a big change for you coming with who you mix with, who you collaborate with, who you join forces with. It's intense. Mercury goes direct on the 12th of July, but of course it won't really clear until the 26th of July, but you feel much more empowered after the 26th of July and ready to make some changes. You might kick and scream a little bit. You might, I don't know, is there a part of you that feels you don't deserve happiness? Obviously not your conscious mind, but unconsciously, do you not feel worthy of love? Do you not love yourself? Do you not feel, that it can happen for you? That love and abundance and an opening up of the world, do you believe that can happen for you? Trust me, it can. Don't kick and scream against the changes. Mercury enters your sign on the 20th of August, and that's when you're very empowered with your words. Your words are spells. You are very persuasive and charming, and people want to listen to what you've got to say. And you've got the confidence from the 22nd of August, when the sun goes into your sign, to get your message across. You have a valid voice. Hone it and share it and express your unique voice. There's a grand Earth trine on the 8th of September with the Sun in Virgo, trine Jupiter in Capricorn, trine Moon in Taurus, trine Sun in Virgo. Right there is an opportunity for you to launch something that you've been thinking about, to launch yourself, to launch into a new way of being, to put your happiness into action and to allow yourself to expand. And let's face it, it is all about expansion. On the 17th of September, it's your very own new super moon. And that is like your personal new year. It's a time where you can ditch the past, let go of your baggage, step through into the new you, to the reinvented, upcycled, transformed you. Who do you want to be? What are you going to create for the next cycle? And what are you going to do with that energy? I would suggest that it's about you committing to your pleasure. And Venus, the planet of love, is going to help you with that on the 2nd of October, as Venus is in your sign, giving you all the love feels, all the love vibes, drawing abundance to you and helping you heal your intimate relationships and your relationship with yourself. Now, of course, I am not a fatalistic astrologer. It's not like this is going to happen to you. The whole point of astrology is that when that energy is there, you can harness it and use it to your advantage and do it. On the 14th of October, Mercury is retrograde again. There's a lot of retrogrades going on this year. So it's all about healing the past, dealing with the past, and possibly the past revisiting you. We have also Saturn moving about for 3 months and giving you a taste of what's going on next year. And actually, next year looks like it's going to be bloody good for you, very intense, and you're making commitments in a brand new way. You're committing to working hard, sorting out your patterns. You've laid the foundations for what you want to build up. It's an amazing year. Commit to your pleasure, commit to your happiness, do the work. It's very intense, and you know what? Now is your time. Take care, gorgeous, and I'll speak to you soon. If you want to check out your written monthly, weekly, yearly astrology, pop over to my website, micheleknight.com. I'm not doing readings at the moment, but I do have a company of some of the best psychics and astrologers in the world. I've had the company for 20 years. I handpick them and they are fabulous. So I'm going to start to show you, starting now, their little videos on here.
My name is Alexandra. I'm a motivational and inspirational reader. First of all, I'm psychic. I'm like a channel. I'm channeling messages as and when they just come and go. Working on the phone is much easier compared to having a face-to-face reading. It allows me to express 100% of my skills. I pick up the phone and I need to hear the voice. They don't need to tell me anything. I don't need to hear any details from them. I just dive straight into the messages I'm getting, describing their current situation so that they get some validation, that I know what I'm talking about. I'm non-judgmental and very much patient and understanding. Don't involve my views on the situation, obviously. It's good to hear that people come back and telling me that things did happen as I predicted they would, or thanking me for the advice I've given them. This is the biggest satisfaction in this work. So that's the whole point. This is the whole value of what I do.